I'm Cecily, also known as the Paper Curator, and I'm here to talk to you today about my collection from Michael Miller Fabrics, Ink Unleashed. Ink Unleashed is a culmination of my work and celebrates the way color and shapes interplay. I really wanted to focus on something that is happy and vibrant and easy to work with in a multitude of ways. So I explored all of these patterns through traditional means, everything from India ink to acrylic paint, watercolor, and the entire collection focuses on how those things interplay and relate to each other in fun and unique ways. So a lot of the patterns have really big, bold color selections, and then they can easily be mixed and matched because they're at different scales with different primary patterns, polka dots, stripes, everything you might need. And there's also some fun lettering thrown in there because that's a signature of my work for the Paper Curator. So a lot of what inspires me is, as you can see behind me, everything from interior design and furniture, the way that those shapes are formed, to modern art, abstract expressionism, and the way that other people choose patterns and shapes that fit together. That's really what drives my eye, and I focus a lot on color selection first, and then the relationship between certain aspects of the art that I'm making as I'm painting. So everything is first painted and then digitized, and I work with it after the fact to make sure that it's perfect for reproduction, and I'm really excited to have people play with this collection. This gives you a little insight into what drives me behind the Paper Curator and my work for Michael Miller Fabrics.
Hi everyone! This is Alicia Dujets here today to talk about my newest collection for Michael Miller Fabrics, Greenhouse Gardens. This is a collection that I've wanted to make for quite some time since I'm a sucker for a good terrarium arrangement, and I tend to draw the things that surround me in everyday life. I have quite a few succulents and cacti of my own, and I love propagating new ones whenever I get the chance. I have so many I have to give them away to friends, so that's why I was so motivated to launch these particular designs. I had always envisioned this collection to be light and bright, so it was important to me to include some SKUs on clean white grounds, even though it has a fall ship date. The darker SKUs lend themselves to the season, so I think it feels pretty versatile in the end and can easily be used any time of year depending on how you mix and match the SKUs together. I also wanted to be sure to include some colorways that were more on the masculine side, just to make sure that the collection wasn't limiting in that sense. I'm also naturally drawn to dusty colors, so I tried to apply that here to keep the palette a little more muted and sophisticated, which I think pairs nicely with the fun subject matter. Kind of makes a nice balance. As for the drawings themselves, I've always been a fan of making teeny tiny drawings as small as I possibly can, but my only limitation is the printability of such tiny lines on fabric, which naturally bleeds a little bit when it's printed. So I have to keep that in mind when I'm developing my designs as well. I do try to translate my style of drawing and painting in real life to how I draw on my tablet, and this collection was all drawn and colored digitally, meaning it was done in Photoshop, so this is usually how I work. But this helps me to keep my line quality clean, especially when I need everything to print nice and clear at such a small size, like I mentioned earlier. So really quick, I wanted to get into some of the individual designs. Succulent City, which is the main design, has a layered effect. I wanted to make sure it was on the busy side and had a lot going on to kind of keep your eye moving around, and it incorporates all the motifs found in the other SKUs, so it ties everything together, and I think it would be great as a backing fabric. When I was laying out the design Desert Garden, I imagined myself walking through a dense garden of succulents and cacti, so I left these little winding paths that you could kind of get lost in if this were a real place. And the idea behind the design glass houses is to take the geometric shapes of different glass terrariums and interlock them to create an all-over pattern. So it's a layout where your eyes can rest a bit, feels a little bit more open and airy in comparison to all the other designs in the collection. Overall, I just wanted to have some fun with these drawings, and I really hope that it comes across that way. And I hope you enjoy these little doodles as much as I do. I had a lot of fun making them, and I'm so excited to hear everyone's feedback and just make another collection for you all. Thank you for listening.
Hello, I am so excited to introduce to you Wonderful World, which is the newest fabric line that I created for Michael Miller Fabrics. I designed this fabric line well before this global pandemic, but before this global pandemic, I recognized another global crisis, and that was one of disparity between races, between the color of our skin, our set of beliefs, and even disparity between our physical abilities. And so I created a fabric line that encourages and celebrates the wonderful world that we are all a part of and the things that bring us together, namely love and peace and serving each other. I wanted to show you an original illustration that inspired this piece. This here says, welcome, come in and stay a while. And an illustration of children of all different abilities and backgrounds coming together and focusing on what they have in common, which is the love that they have for each other. This world that we live in has so many levels of crisis and always has, but it is when we come together and focus on the things we have in common, we find our world to be an amazing place. I hope this fabric line, especially during this time, is one of encouragement. It's one of inspiration and one that helps us all come together, join hands, get down and dirty with the work that we have to do to make this world a more wonderful place and to celebrate how wonderful it already is. I hope you guys enjoy it. It was such a lovely collection to put together and one that I put my whole heart into, and I'm really, really excited about it. What I'm really excited about is we have a quilt panel that I don't have the full piece here, but it is a full ready to go. You can see that some of that illustration, a full ready to go quilt panel that you can sew up to make a ready to go wall quilt for schools, preschools, playrooms, children's rooms, with phrases and images that really promote this idea of being the good, being the one to show up and show love and kindness towards all. The color range is one that is very easy to use across multiple fabric lines. I'm just pulling out some pieces here, and we also have some almost solids that still represent all the things that we are trying to encourage, which you can see here are all the different things you can do with your hands to show love and acceptance. So some of them are sign language signs, some of them are gestures that show love and acceptance towards all. And we also have this piece, which also has little phraseology, courage, be the good, kindness, children sending messages in the air, messages that they want to see be part of their world as they grow up as the next generation. So I hope you guys enjoy it. This was, like I said, such a lovely collection to put together, one that I put together well before the current crisis that we're in, but now that we're all using up our fabric and sewing to make the world a better place, I hope this collection makes it to be just the encouragement and the inspiration that we need during this very interesting time. Be well, be safe. I hope you are all taking care of yourselves wherever you are on this planet. And thank you so much.
Oh, and wasn't that terrific? Thanks, ladies. You did a great job and super fun to see the designers in their elements at home. We have a few other designers that I want to make special mention of. The first is Jacqueilne Paton. Now, you know her work from long time around the quilting and sewing industry. We are super excited to welcome Jacqueilne to the Michael Miller Fabric family. And this is her premiere collection. We call it Born to Sew. Next up is Aggie from Little Red House. Now, she started us off with the Feline Friends, followed up with this wonderful Woodlands and Musicians collection, and now is taking us out of this world with Hula Universe. And also from our January release, shipping now or very, very soon, from Lisa Glanz was City Hoppers. This is a fabulous little fun collection. As well as this amazing collection from Diane Kappa, Queen Bee. We also have some amazing Michael Miller Studio collections, as well as a brand new basic we call Coco. You can view these incredible collections in Coco as part of our virtual release video that's at michaelmillerfabrics.com. As well as I'll put a link right here in the chat box for you all today. Oh, this has been a blast. Thank you again for supporting Michael Miller Fabrics and these wonderful licensed designers in our studio collections. Please stay safe, happy sewing, and take it away, Rob.